Good morning, welcome to a new vlog. Today I'm going to be wandering through a wonderful little bit of Peak District called Wyming Brook. I've been here once before and it was the tail end of autumn. And today I'm not alone, I've actually got two, what shall we call them, people with me. And unfortunately one of them is Johnny. And what I'm enjoying at the moment is watching him walk in the distance and not realise that they're going the wrong way. So that's fab. I'm now going to shout to him and tell him that when I told him to cross the stepping stones, I meant the actual stepping stones and not some imaginary ones. Just got across the stepping stones, which is always very exciting. I really don't want to lose the gear I've got, especially today some of the gear isn't mine. I've been blessed by a friend of mine from school, in fact, named Jim Booth, and he's lent me his Canon R5. That's what I'm going to be shooting with today. Oh. Now I had got a bigger trip planned today into Wales, but the weather forecast just wasn't working for me last night, and reading it this morning it looks like I was justified. So I've come to Wyming Brook as a sort of consolation prize and brought the lads with me because they've never been here before, and hopefully we're still going to get some good shots. And got a composition, guys, something good going on. How'd you get across here?
The usual thing for the bridge.
Oh, now I feel sheepish, there's a bridge. Pair of twats. So we've been walking down the trail. One of the things about Wyming and its brook is that it's a very easy decline. You know, it doesn't have large cascades, large drops, anything like that. It has more little chicanes. So you've got to find some character in it. Now I think I found one. I just did a quick shot with my phone, and I think with an iPhone you can put the long exposure thing on. I thought it might work. So it's going to be this. I'll run through it in a bit more detail, how I think the composition is going to work, and then we can decide if it did. So rather than shooting it, I haven't shot it already. I'm going to put everything together. I'll show you what I thought looks good, and then we'll find out if I was right. Okay, so this is completely fresh. Going to give it right from scratch and see if it works. So as you can see, I've got the camera set quite low, and that's because the back of this composition is not particularly interesting. Okay, it's flat, the water's flat there, so whilst there are some colours at the back, it's the middle section is kind of dull. So I've got a few choices, got a few options. I bought the camera low to look straight ahead at the Cascade and therefore make that top bit basically insignificant. Then I've got a lovely rock right at the front, and that's going to be good foreground, but it also gives me another option, which is instead of focusing on the Cascade, use that as the focus and sort of see how the foam swirls around it. Might get something out of a long exposure there, and the exposure time is the other thing. Do I want it creamy and misty and milky? I've got to be honest, I don't think that'll work here. Or do I want to try and keep it with some idea of the force in it? So, you know, there should be a happy middle ground there. So I'll mess about with it, I'll play with it, have a look at a few shots, see how they work out, and then show you the end result. So getting it straight on, I think is working. There's maybe a shot there, but I do want to make more use of the rock that I pointed out. So I'm going to raise the camera up, tilt down, see if that makes a difference. There's the rock, and got lots of activity there. A little bit of foam here, but I'm not seeing much action around here. I did end up bringing the exposure time down, so shooting that a little bit faster is just looked better to have that speed and force of the water in the shot. So hopefully you'll agree with me. Shot's coming up right now. To get a bit of condensation, I've noticed, on the lens. Keep an eye out that when you're in these kind of places and the temperatures are up and down, it's been a bit warmer, a bit colder here, I'm next to running water, just keep an eye on your lenses. It's absolutely spoilt for choice at this one. Look at that for a nice little cascade, loads of character to it. It's got up there, then swing that round. Probably see it sort of zigzags down with little bits in the middle. Absolutely glorious, that is. Let's see if we can turn that into a terrific composition. You know, whenever I do these things, I always worry if I'm going to get a good shot or not. And you want, you know, I want to try and present you with at least one, if not two or three good shots. I think I just got one. I think that's going to be nice. The little cascades here are quite sweet, and you can do some good stuff with them, because my real love is the trees, and I want to try and catch something with the rocks and trees and moss, and there's a few things I've spotted that might do it. I'm going to carry on walking down, catch up with the lads, because they're way ahead of me. I fannied around so much at that last one, but once we get to the bottom, we're going to come back up, and so that's maybe when I'll try and set up for these shots with the trees and rocks that I've seen. This happens to be a shot I tried to get the last time I was here, but I didn't have a wide enough angle on the lens to get in both this little wooden bridge and also this rather attractive cascade here. So today I do have that lens, so I'm going to see if that shot works. I'm not going to run through it, it's pretty straightforward. The bridge sort of to the left, this commands the attention, but that little bit of interest should, you know, the bridge should balance it out a little bit. So yeah, hopefully this will work, and I'll put it up now. Quite a leisurely walk, Wyming Brook, but you still have to do a bit of up. Not much, but my knees don't like it. But yeah, normal people, you'll do this no problem at all. Super easy for you guys. I'll probably be back here in the spring, like proper, when everything's starting to unfold. But yeah, been a good trip so far. I've got a bit more to do. As I'm in the area, I thought it would have been rude not to bring the guys to Padley Gorge. It's on the way back, so they're currently absolutely loving wandering around the amazing trees. We're going to take them down to the brook in a second. It's going to be tough to get fantastic shots in this weather. It's wet, we're getting drizzle. Obviously the sky is awful, but I'm not going to moan about it as much as I did last week. We're just going to wander around, and like I say, first time here for these guys, so they're going to really enjoy it, and hopefully it'll give them a taste of what's to come. Thanks so much for continuing to watch the vlogs. There's more to come. I was hoping today to go to North Wales, so I'm still planning that trip, but the weather just wasn't right, so I thought, well, I'll make do, go to somewhere where I always enjoy it, which is, you know, Wyming Brook and Padley Gorge. And I'm going to bring the Welsh video to you soon, I hope. It's just weather permitting, that's all I'm waiting for. Meanwhile, again, please, if you're first time here and you've enjoyed it, do subscribe. There's more of this to come, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.